So I started road racing in 2003.
Yeah.
Went to France 2004 and had a good season. Got some elite wins. They'd now be classed as like your what's it called, the 2.2 sort of level races.
Okay.
So got a ride off the back of that.
Right.
But I didn't do anything there. I climbed off halfway. I was creeping. It was the end of the year, and I don't know, just wasn't going well at all.
I mean, I think a lot of people, I think fairly really, with the World Championships, were saying about yourself, John. It's like, and I bet in the back of your mind you were thinking it as well. It's just that extra 50 k's. It's that 256k or 260k distance.
Just a long way, yeah.
I mean, we all know I've raced at that level, and there's a massive difference in another hour and a half of racing on the back end of 4 or 5 hours. And how did you kind of approach that, or was it more of a suck it and see?
That's it. It was kind of like, well, you know, there's nothing that prepared me for it. I did some big rides going a left here. Did some big rides in the weeks before just to try and get ready once I knew I was going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's still a lot further, and the actual race was run off at a higher speed, and I thought there was no real lull. So
right.
It's just constantly wearing you down, and you know, I got to the last time up the climb, and I'd already made some big efforts, and that's when it kind of, the distance catches up with you.
Sure.
And it's like, whoa, it's not a lot left in the tank.
Yeah, but I mean, that's got to, again, at your age, I mean, I can pretty much categorically say, I think you know as well, your best years are in front of you now, and you've got that in the legs. You finished 19th in your first World Road Race Pro Elite Championships, and it's got to give you some confidence for the future. You know, when you have an even better run up to it, maybe a Grand Tour in your legs as well. So, do you think that's realistically? I know I don't think I'm speaking too loftily now. Do you think it's a race that you could actually target and try and win in the future? Depending on the courses, of course.
Seems silly me now talking about potentially winning something like that, but yeah, I took a lot of confidence from that result. Yeah, the actual placing wasn't amazing, but I was in the mix, and I think maybe with the Grand Tour in the legs and having trained for the distance. We're going to go left here again.
Left here, guys.
It's something I can actually target. So yeah, why not? My mouth's warming up a bit now. You know when it's too cold to speak.
Yeah.
You kind of just like,
my jaw was. You sound like you're pissed.
Yeah, like slurring, like I'm drunk. Oh. So this just takes us out towards one of the lakes, Chew Valley Lake, and we do a lap of that.
Great stuff.
Come back with a climb and head back through the park.
Great stuff.
Get a coffee and warm up.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Oh. So yeah, this is where I came with the Bristol Uni Cycling Club.
Ah, right. Okay.
Asleep.
Is this where they hammered you the other day? Is it?
Yeah, that hill there. And this guy the guy I'm talking about, his mates all like run up the road, and I said, oh, you best go and catch him up. And he was like, no, this is a good pace. And I was like, all right. And he was in 80 kilos, big hairy legs, literally 2 bike lengths in front, talking back to me. You know, not half wheeling, like double biking me. It's hilarious.
Oh,
a good group of lads, you know. Just obviously.
Oh shit! Yeah, was that ice?
A bit of slush.
It's just slush. So, okay, you're based in Clifton. Going forward, you've got is it a 1 or 2 year deal with Sky now? Or
2 years, yeah.
2 year deal. So are you looking at basing yourself in Clifton? Are you going to have a base abroad in Spain or Girona, where a lot of people do, or what's your plan?
I'm going to stick around actually. I'm right next to, well, we just rode past the airport there, so you can see how close I am to it, which is handy. And I think, if I need to go and train on, somewhere a bit more mountainous, I can get a flight and do that. And, I've got my girlfriend here, and there's, I just like it in the UK, there's too much keeping me here. I don't need to, it's not like I'm one of the Aussies who needs a base in Europe. So, I think the UK is pretty much as good a base as any now.
Definitely. I think the programme that you're going to have with Sky, which we'll talk a little bit about in a minute, is going to be that extensive. There's not going to be, I wouldn't have thought there's going to be any need for you to spend a prolonged period of time abroad just to train. But that's slush. I mean, of the current crop of riders out there, and obviously you're going to be going into next year as one of the main protagonists, who are the guys that you admire as professionals in the current crop of riders out there? Who are the guys that you think, yeah, he's a top pro, I admire his style of racing, etc.? Who are the couple of guys that you really admire?
Obviously someone like Gilbert, you know.
Yeah.
It's just the best of the best, isn't he? And see what he did at the Worlds and fight all day, and then to just, yeah, he just ran away with it at the end. It was unbelievable. It reminded me of the, was it Cerrone used to win, the way he did that in at Goodwood, I think it was.
It was, yeah.
I'm seeing an old video of that, and it was just something like that, you know, burst out the bunch.
No, I mean,
Really impressive.
I'd have to agree with Gilbert, one of my favourite riders, definitely without a shadow of a doubt.
But also someone like Simon Gerrans, you know, he can win on a load of different terrains, and you know, he admits it, he's not the biggest engine out there, he's punchy and he's pretty fearless, and you know, someone like him as well.
I think the thing about Gerrans is the way he reads the race, is his intellect as well. It's like you say, if you know, when you're up against guys like Cancellara in the finale of Milan San Remo, you know where you're going to outpower him. You've just got to ride
and also
with
just,
your wits, you know.
Yeah, just be willing to lose it. He knew that Cancellara would be thinking, well, this has got to stay away. So you just got to gamble, and you know, you've got to know your limits. And you know, he knew that Fabian would have been stronger and had to. So he needed him to do the lion's share, and
that's it.
You know, he did.
So from a personal kind of level, what do you hope to achieve next year? I mean, now you said you wanted to be a good team player, but you know, undoubtedly you're going to have some personal expectations and goals. You know, looking, say, we're on a ride December of next year, looking back, what would you like to have achieved ideally?
I think, yeah, so first and foremost, I think it's important that I can integrate well into the team, and you know, there's so many big names, and they've got such lofty ambitions, especially after what they've achieved this year, that you know, I want to help contribute to that.
Sure.
But also I think it's important that you can take something away in a non-selfish way, you know, for yourself. And I've never had a season where I haven't had a bit of success for myself.
Sure.
So it'd be nice to win a race in Sky colours. But you know, there's no small races I'll be doing, so no. it's not going to be an easy task.
No.
It might not happen, but you know, that's. I'd like to be here in a year and say, look back and have, you know, have contributed to the team, and also to have got a win under the belt as well.
Sure. So, I mean, in terms of a Grand Tour, do you know if that's on the schedule next year, or is that something you're looking maybe for 2014? Has that been discussed at all? Because obviously, you know, people looking at you as maybe like a one-day rider and a shorter stage, 1 week stage race ride. I mean, you're only 28. I mean, who knows? I mean, would you like to? A silly question. Would you like to ride a Grand Tour and try and be a protagonist in one of those to try and test yourself?
Yeah, obviously I'd love to. You know, I think we touched upon it, and I think maybe something like the Vuelta at the end of the year could be a possibility. Although it's so long away. It's difficult to say, but yeah, I'm untested in those sort of races. I know I'm pretty confident I'd get through a race in the right condition, but you know, actually being a contender is something else. You know, at the moment, you know, I'm not good on the mountains. They're too long, and I'm not the best of TTers, but something I'd like to test myself in.
Definitely, well, you're certainly going to be in the best kind of environment to actually improve those elements. I mean, you know, it's as long as somebody's got potential, what Sky will do is try and make sure that potential is fulfilled, won't they? You know, that's one thing that can be said.
That's it.